Good evening and welcome to the Committee of the Whole meeting for the month of November. Before we move into the actual meeting, I have a proclamation that I will read here tonight. It's World Pancreatic Cancer Day, November 20th, 2025. Whereas pancreatic cancer is one of the deadliest forms of cancer with a 5-year survival rate of just 10% and remains the third leading cause of cancer death in Canada, and whereas pancreatic cancer is often diagnosed at an advanced stage due to vague symptoms and lack of early detection tools, limiting treatment options and access to clinical trials for Canadians, including those in Happy Valley-Goose Bay, and whereas World Pancreatic Cancer Day, held on November 20th, 2025, unites organizations, advocates, families, and communities in a mission to raise awareness, improve outcomes, and honor those impacted by pancreatic cancer. And whereas the Heather Cutler Foundation, a volunteer-driven organization based in Newfoundland and Labrador and a member of the World Pancreatic Cancer Coalition, works to advance awareness, access to clinical trials, and advocacy for Canadians living with pancreatic cancer, including those in Happy Valley-Goose Bay. And whereas Happy Valley-Goose Bay joins the Heather Cutler Foundation and communities worldwide in supporting the Light It Purple campaign, shining a light on pancreatic cancer and standing in solidarity with those impacted, their families, and advocates working for change. Now therefore be it resolved that Happy Valley-Goose Bay proclaim November 20th, 2025 as World Pancreatic Cancer Day, encouraging all residents, organizations, and businesses to light it purple by wearing purple, lighting homes and landmarks, and raising awareness to honor those affected and drive progress towards early detection, better treatments, and improved survival for Canadians impacted by pancreatic cancer. Sign that here. Here we go. Okay, thank you. We'll call the meeting to order, and we'll move right into the agenda with Finance, Administration, and Policy. And Councillor Rumble, please.
Okay, so I am going to ask, because I need to be clear, because it was kind of decided this last time. So I'm reading through each of the recommendations.
Yeah.
We are not deciding.
Correct.
At this point. It's just to read through and read the briefing, like summarize the briefing note, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Make sure I do it right. Okay, thank you, Mayor. So in the council package for the Finance, Admin, and Policy Committee, we begin with our revised Code of Conduct for municipal officials. So this has been brought to us previously. If I'm correct in stating, we're doing another read-through because we just want to make sure that the language is correct and that everybody's had time to review and have any comments or feedback or, you know, anything that anybody feels is missing or needs to be added before we bring it forward. Because we did do this one at the last, we did go through this in our last committee of a whole, right? But we haven't brought it forward to be voted on yet.
There are some amendments to the actual Code of Conduct that was adopted by council. So basically, we're asked to accept those amendments and rescind the previous motion that accepted the Code of Conduct.
But this is our second, like we had this at our last committee of a whole, correct? Am I asking?
No.
No? I thought we did.
It's been a while. We may have discussed it, but there was no decision on this.
No, that's what I mean, but this is our second read-through, correct? So I guess what I'm asking is if anybody has any feedback, if there was anything that anybody felt was missing, or if we are okay to proceed with bringing this to the next public council meeting as a recommendation and to vote on.
Yeah.
Everybody okay moving forward?
Okay, so I guess, yeah, this brings us in line with the Towns and Local Service District Act, and it clarifies the language so that it's, you know, and to me, I think the part that really hit with me was that we made sure that we have clean and cohesive language in regards to the complaint process, receiving a complaint, and that the clear expectations are there. And we also have something there where we deal with the formal investigations, and if there are things that are nuisance complaints, that we have a way to deal with those.
Correct. I mean, it's something that came out in the last little while, so I would recommend we all have a good read through it. And I don't know if the CAO could probably have it highlighted where the changes are made from the previous one. Is that possible?
It's all according to
It
the
would
act
be a lot of
anyway.
work again.
There's a
Right.
lot of substantial changes.
Okay,
It's all related to the new act anyway,
Yeah.
so.
The Department of Municipal Affairs, is what it was, came up with a new template last year and required that municipalities update their codes of conducts, which were initially adopted in 2023, to ensure that everything that was in their template was there. They can add to it, but they can't take away.
Right.
So our previous code of conduct, I'll say, was similar, but it was missing some stuff, and it had some stuff in there that we can't do.
Yeah.
So this is
Okay.
a complete redraft of what we did before, following along with the template and the process.
Okay, so I would
Okay.
just recommend council familiarize yourselves with this code of conduct, because it's gonna be helping to govern us over the next number of years, so.
Yeah,
Okay.
and this is municipal officials, this is not the counselor one. The counselor one was adopted a few months ago.
Okay.
Maybe August, I'm not exactly sure now, but that was the counselor one. This one's for municipal
municipal
officials, so
officials,
that's employees, volunteers, contractors.
Yeah.
Anybody who basically does work for the town, whether they're paid or not, that's not an elected official.
That's right. So it's important that we all understand what it
Understand it,
means,
yeah.
yeah.
okay.
All right, thank you.
Okay, our
one.
next item in our package is the write-off of outstanding uncollectible accounts. And this one, I believe if we all reviewed, it really took a lot of time, because this is not as simple as 1, 2, or 3. This takes us to a grand total of 63 different items with a significant dollar value. So for us, as a part of our package, we really, don't need to know the details other than the PAR ID. I am assuming, and I shouldn't assume anything, but I would imagine that our supervisor of assessment and taxation and our town staff don't get to the point of bringing forward items for uncollectible until they have exhausted their best efforts. So the fact that we've had to get to this, to 63 items, and varying in amounts from, really small amounts to rather significant amounts, when you read the briefing note, I think that it's necessary. It's something that we really can't put off. All accounts have been reviewed and confirmed by the CAO, and, approval of these write-offs will enhance the accuracy of the town's financial statements, because right now, this is showing on our books as collectible monies, which gives us I don't want to use the word inflated, but an inaccurate picture of what we have. So, not having this $400,000, if we include it in our budgeting process and we allocate funds and we're not able to collect, then we're doing a unattainable goal. So I don't know if anybody has anything that they want to, I think it's straightforward.
Do you have anything to add, CAO?
I'll just say that these particular ones, although there are a lot, they have come from our allowance for doubtful accounts summary, which has been reviewed by our auditor the past few years. We haven't been because we had been behind on financial ads, we hadn't really been doing much with this. And now that we're caught up, she's recommended we put the policy in place, which was done at the October's meeting. And now following up to that policy, we have to, these accounts are not able to be collected. There's nothing that the town can do because of age and circumstances or whatever. There's nothing we can do to collect them. So it will take a while, and the reason why you can't do it all at once is because you could say yes or no to something for some reason. So every property or every account has to be done on its own.
So it's basically cleaning up our books.
It definitely will be cleaning up the books, and it, like Councillor Rumble stated, there, right now, you look at like, it's an allowance, but it can always go back, and this 400,000 cannot go back. There's just no way, so it will definitely clean us up going forward.
Okay, perfect. Next one, please.
Next one, I have a question first. Just need to make sure, because we are not voting, do we discuss this with Deputy Mayor at the table or not?
What
Yeah,
is it?
it's a discussion, so
What
it's
is
the
it?
Housing Coalition.
Oh, okay, I gotta declare a conflict there.
Okay.
Because I am the executive director to have Valley-Goose Bay Housing and Homeless Coalition.
Just wait for Deputy Mayor to sit in the gallery. Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Councillor.
Okay, so our next item is a property tax exemption request from the Happy Valley Goose Bay Housing and Homelessness Coalition. So they have completed the application process as per F0009. All required documents have been provided, and the net income falls into the 100% discount category. So management is recommending that we approve the 100% tax relief for the property as it falls within that policy, and they've provided the documentation required to demonstrate as such.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody,
Any
anything
comments
to
from anybody?
discuss?
Councillor Winters, please.
To me, that just shows that policy works. And I remember I asked CEO, is if it qualifies and it's qualifies as 100%, why does it have to come to council? And could staff just have it done so that it doesn't have to come to a vote? Unless they're asking for, and like I say, unless they're asking for the 25% or something.
In our municipality, we have property tax relief programs in place for low-income and seniors. Well, I shouldn't say seniors, no. We have low-income property tax, which has replaced the previous tax reduction. So anybody, as long as they meet the criteria, can apply through those programs. Through this, I don't see any reference to this person submitting that type of application. So this just appears to be a letter saying, I am looking to have the interest removed from my property tax. Is that correct? Okay. So, and I'm going to look to the CAO one more time. Can I, again, I hate the word assume, but can I assume that this resident would have been given the opportunity, the same as any other resident of Happy Valley Goose Bay, to submit that type of application, and has chose instead to, like, there would have been nothing stopping anybody from submitting an application, right?
In this particular instance, the property owner is willing to pay the principal. They are looking for relief of the interest because they got behind, and these are rental properties, so, and they're multi-unit.
Okay.
So if I read correctly, it was because of the error, not on his part, but on the bank.
For two of the properties, there was never even a mortgager on it. For one, there was.
Yeah.
I just wonder if anybody else ever ran into this problem with the banking error. I just wonder if anyone else ran into this problem with a banking error which caused them to get behind on this.
Well,
Is this the first time we've seen this? Because it's not, it doesn't seem to be the property owner's issue. It's the way I read the report.
Yeah, Councillor Dyson?
So, some banks
don't do that anymore. And unfortunately, some of the banks that don't do it anymore did not notify their mortgage holders that they weren't doing it anymore. So that was my understanding of what happened here, but.
Yeah. But I do believe, and I was in that situation myself, but the tax statement goes to the individual.
Yes.
Yes.
And so the onus is on the individual to ensure your taxes are paid in full. And I ran into a similar case because I didn't realize that the bank was no longer taking my, you know, out of my mortgage. And when I got the letter, of course, I inquired and found out what was going on. And of course, the onus is on the homeowner, so it's, and like the CAO indicated, in this case, two of them didn't have a mortgage on it, so.
There's one further thing too, that the property owner always receives their annual invoice, and if they have a mortgager who's paying it that's on record, it states on there, copy sent to mortgager, so then they know if it's on there, it's sent to their mortgager. And then the banks also get it.
Yeah.
Just in this particular case, the person got behind on 3 separate properties, and 2 of them had never had a mortgage listed on there, so the reason that they're asking for it doesn't apply to 2 out of the 3 properties to begin with.
Yeah.
So what is it, again, what are they looking for? Like an
They're
exemption from
looking
it?
for
or-
relief of their interest
Okay.
of just over $4,000, willing to pay the principal, which is $19,894.
Okay. Counselor Rumble.
Yeah, just before I clue this one up, just to mention, in 2021, we did address this here in chamber because that was the year that the FIs began changing it. And I remember quite clearly Councilor Broomfield at the time, and we had brought it up that, you know, here's a heads up to anybody who was listening to our town council meeting, which was not everybody, but we kind of said, you know, we were concerned at that time, 4 years ago, as to what kind of impact that this would have on property tax collection. Now, I'm fortunate in the fact that my FI was very proactive, and they contacted clients and said, you know, we can set you up with an automatic 2-week transfer, biweekly transfer into a high-interest savings account, and so there were options. There are always options available, but unfortunately, according to the briefing note, you know, to me, it does seem quite simple, and, you know, it's unfortunate, but again, if you look at the briefing note, this is, as Councilor Odell pointed out, this is $4,000. And if this person qualified for the low-income relief, by all means, they could apply through that platform. But these are, as the CAO indicated, rental properties, correct? Yeah, so.
Yeah, so there's one thing for Councilor Odell's information. In order to qualify for the low income, you have to own and reside in the property. So if you own it, but you don't live there, you will not qualify for low-income relief. Even if a low-income person is living there, if you don't live there, you don't.
It
you're
has
not
to be
gonna
your
qualify.
principal residence, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so everybody's okay with the briefing note, I'm assuming? And that is
Yeah,
it
that's
for
it.
the FAP, thank you.
All right, thank you, Councilor Rumbold. Moving into community planning and development, and Councilor Dyson, I believe.
Yeah.
Mhm.
For what? You're chairing this one tonight. So this is the briefing
The
note.
recommendations there, yeah.
Okay.
I think the first one is you, Deputy.
So you're going to the first one here,
Yep.
Lori, right?
Yep.
So I need to declare a conflict because this is
On
my.
discretionary land use one,
No, I thought she was going to
The-
the one,
A, discretionary land use.
Groves.
That's the Groves Point one, 512 Groves Point.
Yeah, okay, I have declared conflict because that's my.
That's the first one there in my list.
So there are no discretionary land use applications. Okay. All right,
So this briefing note is for 512 Groves Point Crown Lands application, and it's the application from Jackie Compton Hobbs and Bobby Hobbs.
It's a Crown Land application for a license to occupy for use as a walkway, slipway, wharf. The property is zoned resource. Walkway, slipway, wharf use is permitted as an accessory use to a primary use in the resource zone. The license to occupy abuts grant 131-832. This is granted to the above applicants, and the grant or lease is not permitted within 50 meters of a protected body of water. As such, the only way to do this is a license to occupy. The approximate frontage is 45 meters, depth 90 meters, and we had the application attached.
Thank you. Next one, please. Deputy Mayor, there's no discussion on this one? Okay, second one, please.
Okay, hold on. Okay, the second one is 92 Groves Point Crown Lands application, and the applicant is Catherine Elson and Timothy Williams. This is a Crown Land application for a grant for a cottage. The property is zoned resource, and a cottage is permitted in the resource zone. The definition is that a cottage means a dwelling unit designed or intended for seasonal or recreational use and is not intended for use as a permanent living quarters and does not include a vehicle as defined under the Highway Traffic Act. The approximate frontage of 45 meters and a depth of 90, and the application was attached.
Great, and there's no, and staff is recommending no objection, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Next one. 214 Kellen Drive.
Yep, I'm just gonna scroll down to get to it. Okay. The 214 Kellen Drive or Kellen Road Crown Lands application. And the background, the applicant is Gary Callahan Holdings Limited. This is a Crown Land application for a grant for planted grass green space. The property is zoned industrial commercial. Conservation land use class as approximately 0.371 hectares with a frontage of 61 meters and a depth of 61 meters. Area was previously applied for under 164342, and the response from council was that staff recommends that council provide objection to Crown Lands application located at 214 Kellen Drive, as a hotel use is not permitted in the industrial commercial zone. The applicant area will reach over 210 meters from the street, which will grant it a deeper depth than properties such as the arena, the college, all the schools in town, the co-op, including the parking lot. In addition, it would be over twice as deep as any of the surrounding properties in the area. And if the property is extended any further back, it would have significant negative impact on future development in this area. And the application was also attached.
Okay, great. No comments?
So, on that one, we kind of ran into this same property
Last year.
last month, or 2 months ago. I'm just, if Mr. Dillon could speak on this, because I want to make sure that we're correct in what we're saying, and that we're not going to find ourselves back here with a dispute with the owner of this property, saying, oh no, in the regulations it says this, that, or, so if you can explain it so we can understand it, and we're all, why it's being objected.
Well, the land that's being applied for extends well beyond the adjacent properties, and it would not make it, I guess in the case of future development of that area, it would have an impact as to how the area is developed. So that is the main reason for objection at this point.
And if I could just add, I'll get to Councilor Rumble second. So that area, Mr. Dillon, is as part of a future development scheme for future residential properties, is that correct?
Yes, Mayor, that has potential for one of the areas in the town that if we want to expand, that was considered a number of years ago as a potential area. And extending that far back behind that property would have probably a serious impact on future development along those, especially when you extend over from Mitchell Pottle over towards that area. So the road layout would be seriously affected.
Okay, Councilor Rumble?
Just wanted to make note as well of page 81 of our council package for anybody who's looked at the diagram there. So the request is for green space, but I would be of the opinion that if, you know, there's nothing there. So, I mean, you know, we're saying, no, we're not, well, the recommendation is to not be in favor of planted grass, green space, but I mean, I'm sure if somebody wanted to, you know, take a walk out in the trails, and then they can avail of, it is open green space right now. It's not, it's just a matter of us not granting the land to a certain property owner, but by all means, I would think, you know, if I was staying in the adjacent hotel or suites and I wanted to go out and enjoy the green space, then you certainly can. It's just that we're not designating that green space to a landowner, right? So if the intent, as it says in the application, is to have access to green space, then, you know, I would personally feel that the occupants of the hotel would still definitely have access to green space.
Okay, just one last question for the town engineer. Would this have any impact on existing snowmobile trails? I know in the past, whenever we looked at Crown land applications, that we took into account whether there was already, I guess, at least occupy or a permit to occupy by the snowmobile club or others.
Looking at the map, Mayor, there does appear to be some trails in the area. Now, exactly what kind of impact that would have, I really can't say for sure.
Okay.
I know that there are a lot of trails in that particular area.
I
that
think
people
if we can
use.
just check with the snowmobile club for the next meeting to see if this impacts their trail system as well, just for clarity.
Sure, yeah,
Okay.
yes.
All right. Thank you. Any other questions, comments? CAO?
With respect to the trail system, does the Bremer Snow Club have license to occupy from Crown Lands?
I believe it's a permit to occupy, I believe. I'd have to confirm that. We can confirm that when we check into it.
I just think if they do, then it would show up on the maps, because these maps came from Crown Lands.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there are multiple trails. You can see one
They
that
may
was
have
actually
trails
previously cut off from their past Crown Lands application, but I don't think it's the permitted one,
Yeah,
I'll say.
by the
People
look of
use
it,
it, but,
Yeah, I think it's not.
Traditional
It's not a
use.
groomed one.
yeah.
Okay. Councilor Dyson?
I think with the snowmobile club, I think they don't have a permit, but it's a permission.
Oh, okay.
I think that was how it was explained to us before, that they have permission, but not an actual permit.
Okay, all right.
But
Well,
I-
we can confirm all that, but,
Mr. Wheeler would be able to.
sure. Councilor Winters, you have a comment? You good? All right, that's it for community development planning. Community planning and development, sorry. Protective services, Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. We have on our agenda, fireworks bylaw, and it's in your package. Everyone had an opportunity to review it. And, I'll get, Fire Chief, Brad Butler to bring us up to date of where we're to. I mean, this is still ongoing because it has to go to legal, after we, confirm how we would like this to move forward.
Yeah, so Deputy Mayor and Council, what was drafted for you guys is the potential of what the new bylaw could look like before it goes to legal. By all means, if there's anything that you guys want to have with your input added, taken away, whatever. The pieces in red on page 3 are potential pieces of discussion. And one of them there under the actual permitting. Right now, the permits are free. Should they cost anything or should they not? I'll give you an example. There's probably about no more than 20 permits per year that are given, because most of the fireworks that go off are on the 2 nights that they're allowed. So Canada Day and New Year's Day, or New Year's Eve. So those two pieces wouldn't affect the permit piece. And then the other ones are the fines. I looked at different municipalities in the province, and these are rough range of some of those, what they do. The only downfall in trying to, and I'll use the term police, a potential fine in relation to a fireworks, is that it has to be reported right away, and there has to be a response right away. It's no good for somebody to report it and say, my neighbor did this, with no proof. So whether it's pictures, whatever be the case on that, you know, we gotta figure out those pieces in the bylaw of how we're moving it forward. The other piece there is who will have the permit, the power, to issue the ticket or the fine. Is it the fire chief? Is it the fire protection officer? Is it the municipal enforcement officer? So all those pieces will have to put in there. Let legal have a look at it when you guys are fine with it going that route, and then see what comes back from what they say.
So I would recommend that council respond to the bylaw through email with how they would like to proceed. If we're gonna start at $250 fine, or we're gonna start higher, and get them confirmed, because we've been talking about this bylaw now for a long time. So it's time for now the council to put their heads together and figure this out, so you can get it to legal. I would think you, Mr. Butler?
Yeah, myself or the CAO would
Yeah.
forward that out.
So if everybody could review it and respond with your suggestions, thoughts on how we move forward, so that they can get it to legal,
Yeah.
and you all notice that we received correspondence, there's people still upset with this bylaw. It's still impacting our community, so we need to get it right moving forward. So if everybody could have a look.
Yeah.
And,
The other piece, Deputy Mayor and Council, that I have added is the actual fireworks permit that we issue now.
yeah.
Yeah.
So have a look at that, see if there's any ideas that you guys may have, if there's anything to be included in it. I do agree with the piece of it, it's been brought up before, that however the new permit looks, wherever fireworks are sold, these permits should be sitting there. So say if whatever store is selling the fireworks, take this permit, you gotta go to the town office and get it filled out, instead of just selling the fireworks and not
Yeah.
doing anything.
And that
Now,
would
Canada
require
Day
a
and New
bond.
Year's Eve, I get the piece of no permits. But, you know,
I'm not sure if it's worth the look at, putting out something online, asking for a public comment.
Well, he did a
We did
survey.
that with the survey.
already.
Yeah,
We did
with a
multiple.
survey, but
We
did
did
we get much response
We
or any
did, yeah.
we
submissions?
did, we got a lot of response, and
Yeah,
a lot of what came back was, yes, there needs to be something done.
yeah.
Okay,
There was
So,
over 300 people, I think, Mr.
I
Butler.
think it was, yes.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
So now, as a council, we need to look at that bylaw closely, read it, and respond with our recommendations.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Councilor Winters?
Yeah, Brad, I know you done a tremendous amount of work, and it really looks really good. The part that I'm not concerned about, I think we need a little more information, is the ticketing.
Right.
And like, what would the town, like you said, it has to be done in a timely manner.
Yes.
And we need to figure out who has the authority. I don't know, this will go to legal.
Right, and
So
that's
a little
why-
bit more work on, I think, a little
Yeah.
bit more work on how it's reported.
Right. And
'Cause
that's
I
why I'm
think-
waiting for the legal aspect.
Yeah.
If they come back and they say, this is what you need to do, and this is how I see the wording in the bylaw.
Yes,
That's the
exactly.
piece that
This is
comes
where
back
I'm,
from
this
them.
is where I'm to, is, but it's, yeah,
Yeah.
it's gotta be, well, this, in my opinion, it's gotta be reported pretty much immediately.
Immediately, yes.
Yeah.
And if
But- and
that was
somebody
in the
has-
policy, or in the policy, or whatever you develop,
Yeah.
that will make it more clear for us as a council to say, yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
And then it's more direct of, okay, if it was someone living on whatever address, it's reported to you or the MEO
Yep.
immediately.
It
so
would
that
have
you-
to be.
Yeah, that's what I mean, so it can be acted
Hearsay
upon.
is a bad thing in relation to
Exactly.
this.
It
Right.
needs to be proof.
It's no good to come to you the next day and say, oh, this guy down the road was shooting them off.
Right. If
Right.
there's no pictures, I have no proof.
Yeah, exactly. And again, it goes back to who issues the ticket and.
Right. And then the other piece in that is, and I have it listed there, the ticket book, when it comes back from legal and says this is who can, who can't, and this is the
Yeah,
fine
that-
structure, is it a separate ticket book, other than, say, from
Yes,
a non-moving violation in relation to the Highway Traffic Act? We
Yeah.
may have to get those done up.
yes.
So-
I think the legal will take care of that side of
Yeah,
it, but for
yeah.
me, it's the reporting, and I think the policy should state that, okay, if there's gonna be a fine, this is the process.
Yes.
It needs to be, and this needs to be clear to the public, in whether it's through a PSA or on our website, all
Yeah.
the time, when you're issuing.
Yep.
Bert,
Right.
please.
Yeah. Denise?
I remain in favor of an all-out 100% fireworks ban. That will be always my position. I will keep that position. But I think what's worth noting, and what I really like, it's just that the public has to understand. So when it says no person, if we pass this, if this was passed today, no person shall discharge fireworks in, into, or on any building, structure, doorway, or vehicle, and must be at least 25 feet from a building, structure, or vehicle. That means nobody in my neighborhood, nobody on Pottle Street should be able to ever set off a firework. And I don't think people have the comprehension. There is not 25 feet between the houses. Anybody who's driven down my street, you do not have 25 feet leeway. December 31st, 2024, we had people in our neighborhood that had ash and sulfur and debris on their vehicles, in their yards, on their roofs. We have untrained, unqualified, unsafe people using pyrotechnics in residential neighborhoods.
And that's
So
the piece we're trying to-
that, yeah, getting them to know, okay, you wanna know what? If you get a permit and you've obtained that permit, so it's no good to say, oh, I went into the town hall and I got a permit. Yes, you did, but you got a permit that doesn't enable you to set off fireworks at 14 Pottle Street because you don't have that 25-foot clearance. So I think I like that, because that 25 feet means that, you know, I'm not gonna have fireworks landing on top of my vehicle. But getting the public comprehension, I think, would be important as well, to say, okay, you know what? You really, if you don't have, I don't care how safe you're setting them off, I don't care if you got a permit, but if you're not within 25 feet, it's not allowed. Don't do it in family neighborhoods.
Hey, Councillor Odell, you had a comment?
Yeah, just a quick question with regards to, I guess, the comments in red, and the, I guess, the monetary costs associated with penalties. I guess one thing we can discuss after the fact as well is that how we choose to, I mean, we say, it has to be real time within a period of time.
Yep.
But that's not being said that if there's documentation that have been stating that someone is doing something illegally, can that be used as well? So if I take a picture of a neighbor that's doing something that I know or I feel that is illegal, does that warrant something? And should that be listed as well?
That's, I guess, what we'll
We should
determine
discuss.
with this.
Right,
policy.
and that's the piece that would have to come back
Yeah,
from legal
just fine.
stating,
What we can and can't.
if we have a picture,
Yeah.
and like, it's timestamped on your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so that, could that be a piece of, after legal looks at it, is that a piece of,
Whether we
if
can
nobody
use it
can
or not, we'll
respond
find
that
out.
night,
Yeah,
can the next day the MEO respond to the said property and issue that,
yeah,
you know?
yeah. And, Deputy Mayor, you would,
No, I was
You're
just gonna,
fine?
yeah,
Okay.
well, I was just gonna say we need to go through
to the policy.
yes, and go through by emailing
Yeah, that's right.
and respond, right?
And
But-
Councillor Dyson, one last comment.
I'm just wondering, Chief, was there a lot of response? I know there was over 300 people responded to it, but was there a lot of people who wanted the fireworks banned within the town limits, period, besides the two dates?
I don't think there was much talk of the banning, but the regulation around it had to be, I'll call it strengthened.
Yeah.
So, yeah, put those restrictions in place, no different than Councilor Rumble talked about, and that's what drawed in those different pieces. You have to own the property you're looking at setting the fireworks off on. If you don't own the property, you have to have permission from your landlord. You can't set it off within a certain range of a different building. All of those pieces, like, you're not discriminating against anybody because of where they live or that piece. You have to think about all the people around you when you're setting out those fireworks. So, and the pieces that we found in relation to the survey as well as putting this together, it's not the fireworks permit issuing for a Tuesday night in October that we're having a problem with. Our problem is New Year's Eve and Canada Day. The 2 days that in this, that you don't have to have a permit. So even though the discharging of fireworks doesn't permit you to do it in a residential neighborhood within that certain range of another building, you don't have to have a permit, but you're still not allowed to discharge them in relation to this bylaw. if it gets passed.
Yeah, okay.
So we took into consideration all the people in the community that responded to the survey, as well as the different groups that have issues with fireworks in relation to PTSD, pets, all of those certain things. And we tried to come up with something that basically helped the community.
All right, thank you. One last comment, Deputy Mayor?
No, I got a couple more things on the Protective Services Committee.
Okay.
So the RCMP report is included, and as you will see, the numbers are still really high of calls for October, 675 calls. And public safety is still a concern in our community, and the council are meeting with the RCMP tomorrow. But, there's still public safety concerns. We had an incident last night. So I know this council has written a letter to the Minister of Justice, and we are on the radar to have a meeting with her to talk about public safety. I also wanted to just get a little update from Mr. Butler on the community safety plan.
Yeah, so Brian Davis is still working on that. I was hoping that the website was going to be gone live, but I don't think it has been yet. I'll have discussion with him tomorrow and see where he is on that, but that is the next step, and then the community can see what is next when the surveys pieces are coming up. He's going to be interacting with various groups. What he's kind of looking at is whether it's during a hockey tournament coming up, have a table in the arena to have a discussion, show up at the co-op, show up to various events, speak to the public, see what their concerns are, and go from there with it. It's not directly, well, it is directly related to public safety, but it's also around the community well-being aspect.
Yeah, yeah.
So it brings in everything, every aspect to the community well-being and public safety plan. So I'll have another conversation with him tomorrow, see where that aspect is in relation to the website, in relation to the plan, and we'll go from there.
Can you let council know, because when we were at that public gathering, he had said that the website was going to be released that week or whatever?
Yeah, and I think he might be a little bit behind, but yeah, that piece I'll follow up with him on.
Also,
Could I
when we,
just add, and he had indicated his willingness or wanting to meet with council, so I'm not sure if he reached back yet on a possible date or when we can accommodate that meeting, so.
Yeah, no,
Can we
I
just
don't
check
think
on
he
that
has
to
reached
find
out
it?
in relation to that piece yet, but
Yeah.
You guys are one group that is important to this plan.
Okay,
He did want to wait until after the website went live, so I think if he's having problems with the website, that's part of why he's waiting before
because
he
he
puts
wants
his
to do a full
request in.
presentation, okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
so when we meet with Minister Ottenheimer, we also need to bring forward moving violations. That's hindering our community, and we need to keep it on the forefront to try to get that back, right, for our MEO. And we've discussed the third lane at MMC, and we talked, we brought it forward to the previous government. I don't know if it's an item that we should budget, or we need to talk to the government for that third lane, because it's still an issue there in the school parking lot.
Yeah, there is a letter, I believe, put in the system with the provincial government on that specific issue. So we had not received a response previously, and we've written a letter. The executive assistant can certainly add to the details of that, but that letter was sent off last week, I believe, specifically on that issue.
Okay.
So,
Couple more things. Roaming dogs is still an issue. I see from the call-ins, the complaints. There was a couple of incidents of dog attacks, and a male was attacked from dogs off leash. I always say that the town should put out PSAs every week if we got to, because people still don't get it. You can't have your dog off leash, and there's roaming dogs around our community, and our animal control can only do so much. People gotta, pay heed to the regulations, and you're not permitted to have your dogs off leash. As simple as that. And when a man in the community is out walking and he gets attacked by dogs because they're off leash, that's not good enough.
No.
So. And the last thing I had there, the vacant buildings. We talked about that recently. We had fires, arsonists in our community that's lit fires to vacant buildings. And I see on the vacant building, dilapidated building list there, some of these properties were on it, so, as a council, as management, we need to figure this out moving forward. There's many vacant buildings in our community that people are squatting in and we need to figure that out.
And I can just want to add to that, and some of the buildings that did burn, and the fire chief is here, once those buildings are cleared, I think we need to move forward, have them cleaned up ASAP. Because to have those buildings left like that over the winter months and everything else could pose more problems than what we got now. And I would, if we got to issue demolition orders or cleanup orders, get them done. And that authority rests with you guys,
Yeah,
right? Not with council, so.
yeah. All right, and the last thing is the fire hall design. We've been talking about the fire hall for years and years and years, and we can't speak enough of it. So, Mr. Dillon, 2025 is almost out, and there's still no movement on the fire hall design. Can you give us an update?
Well, there has been movement, Councillor, Deputy Mayor. I've been in contact with TI a number of times, and most recently last week, and I was promised that the concept plan would be forwarded to me today, or this week.
So, this was budgeted for in 2020. So, it will happen? There's only
Well,
one
we'll have the
left.
concept plan today, and based on the concept plan, the RFP that will follow will be based on this concept plan that is recommended and required by the Department of Transportation and Infrastructure.
Okay, thank you.
Great, that's
Deputy
it
Mayor.
for that. Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Municipal Services, Councillor Winters, please.
On community services.
Oh, I'm sorry, Municipal
Jill.
Services,
Councillor Williams.
Councillor Williams, I'm sorry.
Was there anything in the package for that?
No,
No.
it's
Just a manager's report, so, I mean, I don't know if the town engineer can give a.
You can
any
ask Mr.
questions.
Dillon to give you an
You
update.
got any questions or anything? If not, that's fine, we can discuss at the public council meeting if there's any updates then.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
All right, community service and recreation?
again, like, there's no community services, recommendations, and I read the report, I think everybody read the report, and I have no questions. It just seems to be that he's doing a great job over there, and there's lots on the go with that department. And I'll give the report
At the
at
meeting.
council meeting.
Oh, okay, perfect. No other issues on the agenda here, so we'll just a motion to adjourn the meeting. I'll
Motion,
move the
so
mo-
moved.
Meeting adjourned.